What's up everyone, it's Enjoooy, new video, and in this video I will be talking about 5 fails or flops or negative stuff of Eurovision 2024 regarding the songs, music, odds and so on. No dramas in this video, I hope. Let's talk! Alright guys, welcome back to my channel, very glad you're here. Before I will start, consider subscribing if you haven't done it yet. Consider becoming a member if you haven't done it yet, and very support me and this channel to grow on a monthly basis and also receiving an exclusive content. Or you can give me a super like or buy me a coffee just to support some very particular stuff you like. And also you can write me in the comments below for whatever you want, or maybe also improving this list, because I've chosen 5 things which surprised me negatively, let's say, at this Eurovision 2024 in Malmö, in the way of flops, unexpected things. I don't want to talk about Eurovision dramas, but just big summary. I think all of what happened this year was so unpredictable and so many inputs were completely differently that things were going like crazily. You know, I was doing this mathematics, odds checking or predictions based on experience from last years, really where countries public put their votes to, and they are having some patterns. But this year, for many reasons, changed things. But there are 2 things which are consistent. If you have a perfect staging, if your presentation is brilliant, you will go up whatever what. If you cannot sing or you have really issues with singing, you have a huge problem, and doesn't really matter the maths or neighbor voting or diasporas. Those are 2 things which are super important, and then all the mixed up, you know, was there. But today I will be talking about 5 things which surprised me, let's say, negatively. And let's start with the first one. So the first thing which was negatively surprised me, even I'm not surprised after all, is the result of Poland and Albania. The countries which are always supported a lot with diasporas failed to qualify, which I think in Albanian example, it was probably for the reasons they changed the lyrics to English, which I think it didn't really work, and also the song wasn't that crazily perfect, the presentation and stage wasn't that perfect, and I think it was inconsistent at some point, and also the approach. I think this is what we saw, that Besa changed the costumes all the time and so on, didn't know what she wants, or the team didn't want what they want. And always when you do such things, it always backfired, and you need to go there with certain plan, keep it, do it properly, execute it properly, and just hope, let's say. I think this, when it comes with drama, it barely helps, and probably this also with the Albanian language and so on didn't activate diasporas, and because the song and the performance and all of it around it wasn't strong enough, it didn't help. If it would be strong enough, maybe you don't need diasporas, but if it's like this, I think then you need to play the cards the right way, and this is in this case probably also the language, the cultural aspect, which didn't happen. In Poland, probably 2 different things. First of all, I think that TVP didn't really listen to most and didn't do this kind of very transparent decision making and so on and so on. I think the more problems, they've chose the song, the artist, which in my opinion didn't really fit together. And this is just my theory, right? But the theory came to practice also with the presentation live. It wasn't really sung well, it didn't fit the artist at all, it was overcomplicated on the stage, nothing really put together, trying to look big and expensive, but this is not how it works. I think this also not how to activate diaspora, because if Polish don't breathe with the artist, with the song, I think it's only based on decision making. If it's something what they can support, they would support it. If it comes with such issues, they wouldn't do it, because again, even the song was really good, the presentation and the singing wasn't there. It just wasn't good. It flopped this way. I think what TVP should do about this next year to really start to do things much more properly and better. I don't know, like I would know what does it mean, but I think if Poland, 40 million, huge country with amazing music industry, want to make it to bigger stage, also to world. In my opinion, we should from Eastern countries do this. Like Ukraine is doing it, Poland should do it. I think Czechia should have this ambition. Let's do this, because there's a huge hole on the market. Let's do it properly. Let's do it transparently. Let's give the artist the chance. Let's create a product which really makes sense. Make it huge, and then eventually we will succeed. But it must go a little bit different way, not like this, and that's why it flopped. But that's for me the number 1 negative thing from Eurovision 2024. And let's move on. Number 2. My number 2 is that Belgium really flopped this year. I didn't expect it. I didn't expect that it will flop that crazily much. Like, we saw most of these performances, of course, in pre-parties. We saw that it doesn't really work, but we saw the music video. We liked the song, even it was kind of repetitive at some point. We also saw the kind of charisma Musti has, but the vocal problems were there present, and because the staging didn't work at all, it was too bright, not really dark, didn't really support it. It really looked kind of cheap, really. And also, he wasn't able to sing the song properly. Let's honestly say it. It wasn't good. On the Eurovision level, this is not enough, easily as that. Then if nothing really clicks, it doesn't help. But I didn't really expect that they will like really receive only 18 points from public, and then the public say like, this is really not the way. Very surpriseful for me that public can be really like tough like sometimes, and if those things don't click on any level, the punishment is there. It's really like happening. So for me, this was one of the negative surprises this year, number 2. Even I don't want to order it like what was the most or less. The song wasn't an issue. It really worked. It didn't really work live. Big surprise. Let's move on to third surprise, negative one. And that's for me maybe the biggest one, I don't know, but for me this is Norway results. Almost didn't qualify, or even like still 6 points, it's a lot of a big difference kind of, but didn't qualify from 10th place and becoming last. For me, this is somehow ununderstandable. Of course I will do a big masterclass about their staging, this performance and so on, but this will be more technical than let's say subjective reviewing. I want to go more technical to learn you something about stagings and how some certain things really work, why, and so on. But in this case, I think the thing what didn't really work, and I don't think it's a song, I think it didn't have a charisma. In my opinion, it was cold, and not visually, but I think that didn't really work from the charisma of the artist. It just wasn't there, and this didn't work, and I think without this you just can't do big things on Eurovision. It just doesn't work this way. It's hard, it's harsh, but for me, when I saw that, okay, public didn't give the points, okay, I can take it, but when also juries didn't give the points, for me, okay, this was alarmful because it was sung brilliantly. Of course, I didn't saw the rehearsal for juries, so maybe it was bad. But for me, this was very surpriseful. And also what really surprised me, that juries didn't see the quality of the song and of its... I think it was sold quite well, but I think that basically the lack of charisma of the song, it was cold, it didn't give you feeling. The artist didn't grab you. If you do metal, the frontman must be somebody who you remember. And I think in this case, this didn't happen. It was just a nice performance among all other nice performances, because many countries this year had really good stagings. So if you don't have this, if the artist don't really sold out the charisma, this can end up like this. Even I think it's technically unfair, even if this is very subjective talking. Anyway, for me, this has another negative connotation, that I think that Norway will go even more with the troll acts and funny acts and this, because they just seen it works, it always worked for them. Why should they change it? Of course, they will never win Eurovision with this approach, but it's also shown that maybe also this other approach, it's more trickier to go with. So I really hope that this won't be the feedback, and we will not have much more robots singing and so on, because this makes Eurovision silly. If you want to win it, you must come with something serious. But their results actually show whenever they come with something serious, they flop. So hard decision making for you, Norway. Hard decision making for you, Norway. Maybe you need to change also something, because I think you did nothing wrong actually. But really hope that you will give yourself this feedback also. This one is negative in a way that I wish that it's not happening anymore, because we need those countries strong, and that's Spain and UK's results. 0 from public for UK, very low jury score, despite the brilliant investment in the brilliant staging. In my opinion, at some point brilliant. I will get into the masterclass that also with some flaws, but technically Technically, it was really amazing to watch. I loved it. And Spanish result also. Why it's the negative surprise? It didn't surprise me, but it's a negative surprise for the fact that I kind of believe that it could somehow end up better than I think. And it surprised me that I was right. I know I'm criticizing Big Five countries in general because I think they should, be the carriers of the huge quality. The quality in general from all Big Five countries, just this, not Germany, but their level was different. It's still lower than their potential is. Their potential, because they are first of all really huge countries. They are also countries with really huge music industries, big scale of quality. In my opinion, especially those two countries are not good in selling what Eurovision is. I think they approach it wrongly. They approach it as a very inclusive events instead of using it as a brilliant marketing instrument. Like, it's bigger than Super Bowl. It's bigger than Super Bowl. It's the big thing. And every single year they're selling it worse. Like, Spain rised now with Benidorm, which I think it's a perfect, amazing event. But they're somehow putting it in so much inclusive way that they made it more like fun-based thing than a real quality thing for 160 million people. I think they still don't have this in mind. Like, who is Eurovision for? The community? But it's not. It's for 160 million people. What you want to show? Who you want to entertain? Definitely you probably didn't entertain Eurovision viewers because the results really shows that no one really cares. And also you must bring the quality. Come on, Spain. Come on, you must bring the quality. And that also show a lot about UK. Like, no, this is not Eurovision, definitely. You need to bring artists who can really sing. This is thing. If a famous artist, it's not about famous artists. It's about brilliant artists with brilliant songs. No one knew Sam Ryder, but Sam Ryder came with amazing charisma, amazing singing skills, and amazing song. It didn't make up to be a ultra hit still, but this was the formula which you forgot to repeat. Year before, very good song, normal staging, artist who wasn't able to sing the song. Never will work, and definitely will never work. People won't give you points because you're UK. UK has a big music industry. How is it possible? You're automatically in the final. You cannot do it. And it's the critics which comes every single year. I don't know if you know what Eurovision is about and where I think Eurovision needs you to be. You must be the leaders. You should be the leaders. Come on, go and knock on the door and talk to the artists. Just show the project you have about Eurovision. Do these positive things. Don't say like things like we want this hit and so on. Like, what does it mean? I don't think you can recognize it. I don't know where is the problem, but I think both somehow you need to get egos out, both countries, and just start to do things like you want to win Oscars, and that doesn't come with such things. It goes more practical, and then you will win it eventually because your markets are so strong that you can do it, and you will get the support if you bring in something spectacular. And you proved it to yourself. Do it, but you must be strong on artists. You cannot allow artists even in your shows, for example, like in Benidorm, who cannot sing their song. You just cannot allow that because then it will always backfire. It will backfire you twice than on any other country, in my opinion. But you have the luxury of being in the finals automatically. So use this power to bring something perfect, and you will win it next year, in 2 years, 3 years. But you will do it. You can do it easily with your markets. Kind of. But you have competition also. And use it, please. So this is for me the negative surprise, but with a positive output. Anyway, let's move on to fifth negative surprise. The fifth negative surprise this year are odds. Odds completely flopped this year. Like, the most mistakes in years. The most inaccurate, very changeful, like, even if you look at them now, which are like locked right before the event, the last things, there are so many mistakes, like 3 mistakes in qualifying in semifinals, completely different order. Latvia, brilliant result, like so many. Luxembourg, brilliant results. Germany is not being last by far, and so on, like unreliable odds. Absolutely. Like, I know that there were so many inputs this year to make it so unpredictable, and also maybe like so many inputs. I don't want to be concrete because there are really so many that made this Eurovision absolutely unpredictable for odds, and the odds basically went absolutely irrelevant this year. And it's funny because every year we will be looking at them and guessing, but actually it told me one thing: trust your own gut much more. Because for example, I trusted Latvia very much, even though I didn't like the staging at all. Like, for me this is ununderstandable, but it also showed that music can really win. It can really go further. People really can accept it. So this is actually very positive thing, for example, with this. But the odds put them last. It's a huge flop, you know. It's like, it's very funny, like odds flopped. That's for me for a big surprise, that in almost every single category they were incorrect, and not correct by far. Maybe that's also something positive about it. Like, don't be so super passionate about the odds. Even I'm also very passionate about them in the way that it's fascinating, right? It is something you can catch. It creates the emotions. We need to have emotions. This project needs to have emotions. We just need to coordinate them or put them the better way sometimes. But those are my 5 like big surpriseful things this year in a negative way. I will also do a video with positive ones and cannot wait to make it happen. But I'm very curious about yours. Top 5 flops, top 5 negative things in the way of music, or technical. Don't talk about things which we have many videos outside. Let's focus now on Eurovision itself and its musical part and those things technical around, which I think we also need to think about and point them out. So point them in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, become a member if you want to support my channel even more, and me also, or give me a super like or buy me a coffee if you like this certain topic to support this channel, this concrete video, and also me. And don't share this among your friends also if you want my channel to grow. And see you next time. Thank you for watching.